Ninoy and Marcos together. What do you think would they be saying to each other?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been asked about what it's like to play Imelda.
You're playing a character that is loved by many, hated by many. So it's very a polarizing character, right? A complex personality of the character. What's that like?
I think it's a massive responsibility. And I think that playing Imelda Marcos at this moment in time is very important. And it's an important story to tell. There's a lot of layers of complexity because Imelda had a very massive effect on her country, and in sometimes negative ways and other positive ways. And there's nuance there in terms of what she did for the country. And for her, it was very important to put the Philippines on the map. And for her, appearances were everything, right? So appearances of how she looked and also appearances of how people viewed the Philippines. But I think being able to tell the story of and explain the story of how she became the leader that she became is a very important one to tell. I'm very excited for the chance to go on the ride because it's a 90-minute show and I have 22 costume changes. And I'm learning right now so much about not only the history of the Marcos regime, but also learning the music and learning the tracking and figuring out the bone structure of this piece.
Ninoy and Marcos together. What do you think would they be saying to each other?
Ooh, I'm not even gonna touch that because I want the show speaks for itself, and I want people to come and see our dynamic on stage. I don't want to give it away.
The bottom line is that this is a beautiful piece of art that David has created, that Alex and the time we've spent together putting together this piece.
11 years.
Yeah. I think the smart thing is that the show is we hope people come to the show to have a good time, number one, and then accidentally have a history lesson, and I think that is what's key, is that you're gonna come, have a good time, see the party that's being thrown, be a part of the party, dance, go home and sweat a little bit, but then you're gonna leave the theater knowing a little bit more about Filipino history than you knew before, and hopefully you're gonna be inspired to go home and Google it a little bit and understand what you just saw.
I like that you're putting it that way because some people, Filipinos who know the history or maybe on the other side of history, are not wanting to watch, are not keen to watch, are skeptical because they think that it's too political or it doesn't mesh with their political views. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say your skepticism is valid, but I would say give the show a chance and come see it before you draw conclusions about it. Because number one, it is very entertaining. And number two, 80 to 90% of the lyrics in the show are taken from actual words that these real people spoke in their lives. So we're not saying anything that these people did not say themselves.
So it's a hard thing to talk about your history, in particular with martial law. And because for a lot of people, they're not good memories, and for a lot of people too, whatever side their grandparents were on 35, 40 years ago, maybe they don't want to talk about that either. But the problem with not talking about it and not seeing it is that history has a way of repeating itself, particularly the bad things. Because when you don't want to talk about the bad things that happen, then they happen again. So I think what Here Lies Love does, we're throwing a party, and there was a lot of parties happening in the Philippines during martial law, but we're also flipping on the lights and showing what happens after the party, the hangover that happens, and the peaceful protest called the People Power Revolution that happens at the end of the show that brings those bad leaders down out of power. That's our story, and we do it in a fun, sweaty way, but it's history nonetheless. It's our history, and if you have to embrace your history if you're going to learn from it.
If there's one word to describe your experience in HLL, what would it be?
Revolutionary.
Bayanihan.
I'm still wrapping my brain around everything, but I'm very thrilled for people to experience it.